Welcome to the Wuhan Cooking Show. Here's our host, Glenn Brownlee.
你好.
First, let's take a look at our ingredients. In order to cook any good Chinese food and still want to eat more after you're done, you have to use clean water, such as this boiling water. First of all, make sure that the water is potable. If it is, put it into the pot, plug it into the wall, and then push this button to make it boil. Be careful, as the boiling water is so hot that it will remove all germs from your skin and may leave a burn afterwards. Next, you must have the finest of Chinese fruits, such as these. These fruits are very leathery on the outside and rough, so they don't look very appealing. However, if you peel them, such as Glenn is doing, you will find inside very juicy and delicious white fruit. Some people might call it slimy, and may even refer to this fruit as eyeball fruit. However, despite the gruesome name, it's still very delicious. Next, you must have the finest of China's berries, called young maize. You can buy them bottled in syrup at the store, such as these, or get them fresh. Slightly sour in nature, they can add a special twist to your recipes. Also, Chinese jam. This kind is apple and honey jam. Quite the delicacy. China's bread is very unique. It's very light and fluffy and sometimes has raisins in the middle, such as this piece right here. Now, let's take a look at all of these ingredients and do a little bit of experimentation to see what they're like. First, we'll take some of the boiling water. Be careful with it since you don't want to burn yourself, and pour it into these 2 glasses. Then we'll take one of these so-called eyeball fruits and put it into the boiling water. As we see, this fruit is heavy, so it sinks. Not very good for making soufflés. Then, let's take one of these young maize. Use a spoon to get it out of the jar and put it into this cup of water. Sadly, the young mayberry also sinks, so I guess we can't make any soufflés today. Instead, we shall use some of this bread and some of this delicious jam and make a special kind of Chinese sandwich, as Glenn will demonstrate for you now. Lacking a knife in our backpacking adventures, we'll use this Q-tip to be able to spread the jam in a sanitary sort of way. Make sure that the container of Q-tips is closed and sealed at the store before buying them, so that it is indeed sanitary for your sandwich. Take the piece of bread and smooth a thin layer of the apple honey jam upon the bread, making sure to cover all the raisins very thoroughly. And then, after you're done with this part, you can take the fruit of one of the eyeball fruits and put it on the bread. Be careful, because inside this fruit there are seeds, and if you eat them, they're not very pleasant to chew. You can also add one of the young maize in syrup, as long as you don't get the syrup all over the sandwich, and as long as you don't mind the very sour nature of the fruit. Together, the eyeball fruit and the young maize make a delicious pair, and the honey adds a special fullness to this recipe. Glenn, would you like to demonstrate how delicious this recipe is for us? We love Chinese food.